Hello everyone, this is me Kunal Shah here. I'm a senior technical and derivative analyst at LKP Securities. Welcome to Dhann ki Baat. This is a show where we discuss about the Nifty and the Bank Nifty outlook for the coming week. We discuss the sector which is likely to outperform in the near term and how to brace the volatility which is currently happening in the markets. So first to start with, we have been seeing that the market has seen a sharp correction. Now multiple global reasons were followed on this. The inflation data, where we had seen a recent rate hike by the RBI governor, we have seen the Russia-Ukraine crisis. So these were the multiple reasons for which the markets saw a sharp correction. So what the market is trying to tell us from the current levels. If I look at the Nifty daily chart, Nifty has formed a doji candle. A doji candle indicates indecisiveness or a pause in the current trend. So what has happened? Nifty has seen a sharp correction, and now after a gap down opening, we have formed a doji candle in today's trading session. Now, if I look back and I look at the Nifty chart over here, 17,400 has been a support zone for the Nifty index. Beg your pardon, 16,400 has been a support zone for the Nifty index in the previous scenarios as well. Whenever we have hit this level, we have seen a rally which has come in. Again, we have came here, again we saw a rally. We saw a breakdown over here, which was a false breakdown, and again we went up. So we have exactly come back again to the same level of 16,400. Now for any pullback, that means any relief rally that needs to be come up into the Nifty index, it has to hold the level of 16,400 on the downside. If 16,400 is held on the downside, we might see Nifty heading towards the levels of 16,800, which was my previous support zone which has been breached. So 16,400, if it is held, we might see a 400 points rally that could come into the Nifty index. If we don't sustain the level of 16,400 on the downside, we will see further correction coming into the market towards the levels of 16,000 as well as 15,800 levels. Now, when I talk about the Bank Nifty index, the Bank Nifty index undertone remains still bearish only what currently the Nifty is. So the undertone for both the index, whether it's Nifty or whether it's the Bank Nifty index, the undertone remains bearish as well from the current levels, where we have seen corrections that has come into the both the indexes over here. So this is the Bank Nifty index. If I look at the Bank Nifty index daily chart, again for the Bank Nifty index, it has formed a doji candle only. So in this over here, if you look at the Bank Nifty data, it is similar to the Nifty data as well. Over here, Bank Nifty had taken a support around the levels of 34,000. Again, we came back over here, took a support at 34,000 and we went back. And again, we are trading somewhere around the levels of 34,500. So I can say Bank Nifty needs to hold the level of 34,000 on the downside. Then we can see a relief rally that could come on the upside towards the levels of 35,500. So Bank Nifty undertone still remains bullish, but since we have seen a deep correction, this indicates there is a pause or there is a pause in this correction that could come in. So a relief rally to come in, Bank Nifty has to hold the level of 34,000 on the downside. If 34,000 is taken out below, we will see further correction where Bank Nifty could head towards the levels of 33,000, 32,500 as well. So for Nifty and Bank Nifty, the overall setup remains still bearish. A minor relief rally can come in if Nifty holds 16,400 levels on the downside and if Bank Nifty holds 34,000 levels on the downside. Now, in this volatility, let us look at the sector which is likely to outperform going forward. So, if I look at the Nifty PSC index, now this is a Nifty Public Sector Enterprise Index. So, recently the public sector stocks have been doing quite well, and I think there's where the momentum is likely to continue in the near term as well. Now this is the Nifty PSE chart. If I look at this, this were the minor hurdles for the index in the previous zone. So 4,200 is the level where we had seen resistance for the Nifty index. Now we had decisively broken out over here, and again we are coming back and testing this support zone of 4,200 levels. So currently the risk to reward ratio seems very attractive that it has come back exactly to the support zone. This is provided if the mentioned level on Nifty and Bank Nifty are held as we discussed. So we could see some good rally coming into the PSE index again, which it could take the index towards the levels of 4,365 on the upside. So, which are the stocks from the public sector enterprise which are looking very good from the current levels? So, the first stock which comes on my radar from this is Power Grid. Now, if I look at the chart of Power Grid, the stock has been an outperformer in the recent times. And even if you look at the chart of Power Grid on a daily time frame, the stock has been consolidating in a broad range where the market has seen a steep correction. We have seen Power Grid consolidating in a broad range, and we can see some outperformance going forward from the stock over here. So this is the daily chart of Power Grid. Now this were the multiple hurdles for Power Grid which were placed at 220 level. Now we have decisively crossed this 220 levels and we are still trading above this. So that is a first positive indicator for me. And after this breakout which had come in over here, we are still trading in a clear cut uptrend only. That is, we are having a higher low, high formations which are intact over here. So Power Grid is one stock which could going forward be outperforming in the markets. 220 is a support on the downside, and I can see the stock heading toward the levels of 260, 270 on the upside. So Power Grid remains a buy for me from the current levels. The second stock is NTPC. Now, if I look at the chart of NTPC as well, again from the public sector enterprise, the chart has been broadly seen a consolidation phase in this bear market, where the market has been continuously correcting. NTPC has been consolidating in a sideways territory. If I look at the chart over here, NTPC had given a breakout with volumes in this case on 18th of April 2022. Now, after this breakout, the stock has been consolidating in a sideways territory. Now, if I draw this falling trend line over here, the stock is on the verge of a breakout. My breakout level is placed around 162 levels on the upside. So once NTPC goes above 162, we can see fresh buying momentum coming in, and we'll see a neat and clean breakout which will be there, which will help the stock to go towards the levels of 170, 175 on the upside. The downside support stands at 154 levels over here. So NTPC and Power Grid are two stocks which are looking attractive from the PSC basket, which could do quite well. Now, as we have been saying, there has been a carnage in the market where we have seen a lot of selling. From the banking space, one stock is still looking good, and that stock should be in your radar. And the name of the stock is Kotak Mahindra Bank, where we have seen all the banking stock going through the worst phase. This is a stock which has been consolidating again in a sideways territory. Now we need to just wait for a breakout on this. So if Bank Nifty bounces back, this is the first stock that would see some buying action. My breakout level is 1822. So if 1822 is taken out on the Kotak Bank, we can see a further rally into the Kotak Bank stock where it could head towards the levels of 1900 on the upside. So Kotak Bank from the banking space looks very attractive. And as I said, from the PSC index, NTPC and Power Grid are the two stocks which could be an outperformer in the coming week as well. So that's it from my end. Thank you so much.